They were very independent couples. So this guy calls up and asks, where is the documentation? I told him he had to print it out. Yes, a plastic heart, a kidney transplant, all mochi, and he was killed in a car accident.
Oh, look, I have the same crystal.
Good evening, and thank you for coming. I want to tell you a little bit about myself. I was born in Cuba, and then we came to this country because my mother wanted a blender. I know that to many of you, this might not sound like a very good excuse to put a whole family through the ordeal of exile, leaving everybody you love behind, and knowing you may never see them again. But let me ask you something. Have you ever tried to grind corn using a cheese grater? Like your fingers get carapines and you bleed, it's awful. This takes even more serious consideration when you think that in my house, we eat tamales for lunch every day. So we set ourselves in this journey in search of a blender. And we arrived in America. The land of opportunity, where all men are created equal, with freedom of speech, the pursuit of happiness, and justice for all. You know what I mean, right? Well, let me tell you a little bit about the first American I ever met. He was a social worker. Now, I didn't think there was anything strange about having a social worker. Like, everybody in America had a social worker. It was a very American thing to have. She said to me, I'm here to help you adjust. What are your needs? I've heard so much about America being like Wonderland that I thought this woman was my fairy godmother. So I said to her, I would like to grow up to be 6 feet tall with blonde hair and blue eyes. You know what I got instead? Processed cheese. Which now that I think about it, is not such a bad thing. I mean, this incredible way in which you can recreate an object, in this case cheese, by means of something completely artificial. Which brings me as to why we're here tonight. I want to teach you how to make tamales. Not the way we used to make them in Cuba, but the way my mother had to reinvent them in exile. You see, now she had her blender, but she discovered that it was very difficult to find real corn in the middle of a New England winter. So she started playing around with ammonium chloride, sodium nitrate, and of course, monosodium glutamate. You know, it's very obvious these tamales are not going to taste the same, but this was perfect for my family because the experience of exile had made them very, very upset. And we ate these tamales to cry about Cuba. You see, my family thought that one side effect of exile was amnesia, which reminds me, before I forget, let me tell you about Cuba. Why don't I tell you a story about a social worker? And the same as with the tamales, all the ingredients or characters of my story are not real. They are fictional. And any resemblance to anybody dead or alive is completely coincidental. Actually, that's not true. A very minor character went to type in school with me, but I changed her name. The story I want to tell you is about a very well-intentioned social worker in search of a client, a woman named Dolores. Now, in Spanish, Dolores means many pains, and the nickname for Dolores is Lola. And this social worker came all the way from the big city thinking that she could help Lola.